Facebook, but also this will be going up to my YouTube channel. If you are not subscribed to the YouTube channel, you definitely should be. And I will also be creating a Facebook business page that focus primarily on my experience here in Philly, motivational speaking, gaming, all the good stuff. But today I'm here talking about the topic of growth is intentional. I think this one is really important, and that kind of leads to the photo on the left. As you can see, that change is going to happen, yet growth has to be intentional. This topic was really sparked by a book that I just began reading by the name of Today Matters by John C. Maxwell, and I really want to take you all through the journey as I am going through this book. But I think the key thing for me when I think about growth, right? I'm on the train. I'm on my way to work, right? For many of you know, I relocated. I'm in a densely populated city now, right? And I'm reading my book. It's a great book, and it really locks me in on today. And the biggest thing that I took away from it really is that growth is intentional. As I'm commuting to, the train in Philly, one thing that I've noticed, being at this age is that just the world moves so much faster than I just thought. Like, I think in a lot of ways when you're younger, you think like you're really in a bubble. You know what I mean? You're in this bubble by yourself. You have a mentality of what the people are doing in your family, maybe your close friends, and maybe the folks that you even follow on social media. Even me, right? You're like, all right, I at least know. But this concept of change, that people just keep moving, right? Think about Nipsey Hussle. Think about Kobe Bryant. Think about all these people who were widely known, but the world just kept moving. All right, Zach, what are you talking about now? All right, people pass away, the world keeps moving. We know that. And all these things that are going on in our lives, we must be extremely intentional about growing, right? So I wanted to talk about really like 3 key topics from this book right here. If you want to know, check it out. John C. Maxwell, Today Matters. One of the first things is that tomorrow is not promised, and yesterday ended last night. This is just such an interesting thing when I think about those 2 topics, right? Because for me, I always romanticize the past. I'm always romanticizing the past, right? In the books, it talks about this golden opportunity, right? It's that opportunity that you passed up on that you think if you could go back, you would capitalize on, right? Oh, man, if I could have just spit a couple games to Shorty, or, man, if I would have invested into Bitcoin, I wouldn't have to go through these things right now. Or if I would have just kept going with this business idea, or kept going with this relationship, or kept going with, this sport that I was in, things would be so much better, because that's the past. You think everything in the past is a little bit better than what it truly is, right? But at the end of the day, that it doesn't matter. So now let's talk about the inverse of that. Let's talk about the future. We sometimes think about the future as if good things are going to just come automatically. Now, you may not say that. You may not agree. And honestly, I thought the same thing too. I was like, no, of course things aren't going to come automatically, right? Then the book gave a great example regarding, well, when you think about, in the next, 3 to 5 weeks, 3 to 5 years, actually, it was saying, do you think your income's going to go up? Of course. You think you're going to meet more people? Of course. Do you think your living situation will be better? Of course. Are you hoping to, become smarter? Of course. But what are you doing today to get to all those, of course? And that one really hit home because we have the mindset of things will get better. Usually, right? I mean, you don't even have to be extremely optimistic to think that way, right? You may just think like, oh, I know things at one point in time are going to get better for me. I'm be driving a better car. I'm going to be doing X, Y, and Z. But are you doing things today to insinuate the future that you hope for? And that one really hit home for me because I know that there's some areas in my life where I'm just a little bit more hopeful then I'm actually, practical about it. And the example or the parable that was used was a farmer doesn't just hope for crops. They plant seeds, right? You can't just hope to go outside and hope to see just a bunch of money-making crops. Corn, you know what I mean? Beans. That's not what you just hope for. You have to plant seeds today to, what they call it, harp? What is it, harp? To reap. There we go. To reap tomorrow. You have to plant seeds today to reap the crops of tomorrow. So it's important to understand that whatever you did yesterday, when you was in high school, when you was in college, when you was with that person, it don't matter no more. I'm not just talking to y'all, I'm talking to me, right? It just doesn't matter anymore, for real. You know what I mean? Like, those things that you did yesterday does not matter, because yesterday is gone. It ended. The past is gone. And guess what? The future's too far away. That one's always kind of ring home for me. Like, the future's just too far away. So kind of getting a little bit more guided, right? As I get back to that context, are you planting crops or are you hoping? Farmers cannot plant crops. I mean, they cannot hope for crops. They have to plant seeds. There has to be different areas in our life that we must plant seeds to reap the crops, right? One of the key things that I love is that one today is worth two tomorrows. So what does that mean? One today is worth two tomorrows. So one today essentially meaning the time that you put in today is worth two tomorrows. I see this thing a lot where, a lot of individuals, it's like, well, I'm gonna just do that tomorrow. I have that mentality. Not individuals, I have that mentality. Oh, I'm gonna just do it tomorrow. But we have to understand that today is gonna be the core area where we can influence tomorrow. That was one of the biggest ahas, is that today influences your tomorrow. So you saying you want to be wealthy, we saying we want to own real estate, we saying we want to take care of our kids, we got to start today. Because when you think in that opportunity of whatever that's on your mind that you're hoping for, if you aren't preparing for it for today, once it comes, it's too late. You can't prepare once the opportunity is in front of you. You know what I'm saying? I talk to my young men, right? You talking about, man, if I see girl again, I'm going to be spitting game. I'm going to be saying all this stuff. You ain't practicing. You ain't practicing what you going to say. All my young ladies, right? When you get a chance to execute on an opportunity, that is when preparation comes. So I really love that it says one today is worth two tomorrows. I can genuinely say that. I mean, many of you know. If you don't know, I'm quite transparent on my walk. This is going on my YouTube too, so you can go find it there. I was expelled in elementary. Yep. I've been suspended multiple times. I was expelled from school in elementary in the 3rd grade. And I remember when I got expelled, I had to finish the rest of my 3rd grade through the tapes, right? This was like the first virtual learning through the tapes. I didn't listen to none of those tapes. How did that now influence the rest of my learning? A lot of the foundational things that I would have learned, around this time, I wasn't. And I took that. I took that with me, and I kept taking that with me because I'm like, well, I'm eventually going to get better at math, right? I wasn't doing well at math. I think I barely squeaked past freshman year. I failed the math portion of my ACT. I went into college. Listen to me, y'all. I went into college studying 9th grade math. Like, literally went into college studying what's 2,200, what's 2,347 plus 13,282. You know how humbling that experience is? I'm going into college where my peers are starting off in calculus, and I'm adding up, subtracting, doing basic division, addition, and subtraction. And that was because I was hopeful that I eventually would just get better at math, but it never happened. But within college, I turned my mentality around. I'll never forget Joni Batchelor, one of the best teachers I ever had in high school. She said, Zach, you ain't gonna just turn stuff around when you get to the next level. That's just not gonna happen. You got to start today. So I started my YouTube channel because I wanted to be ready for that opportunity. I don't know what that opportunity is, right? I don't know what it is, but I want to meet it halfway. I want to meet it halfway. So I leave you all with this. What I am to be is what I'm becoming. For all my men out there, right? You want to be a great father. Most likely, right? You want to be a great father. Any man that I talk to, he wants to be an individual who is going to raise his son up, raise his daughter up. You want to be a great father. But are you being a great father today? Does that make sense? You want to be a great husband. Are you treating your lady like you should, that is going to constitute as a great husband? That can be hard because it's like, well, I'm not a husband yet. I'm not a father yet. But what I am to be is what I'm becoming. So whatever you want to be, you must become on the way. All right, what are you talking about, bro? You getting too complex. Like, chill. I ain't even trying to hear all of that, bro. I'm just chilling at the crib. Get out all that deep stuff. You got to start today, whatever it is. Don't think that you are going to get to that next level of whatever you want to be by just chilling. I'm the first one to say it. Sometimes I just sit on my phone. I scroll Facebook day in and day out. I scroll Instagram day in and day out. And I understand what that does to my development. I'm on Facebook Live right now. I want to be able to one day speak in front of millions of people. But in order for me to be that, I must start with one viewer. I must start with 2 likes, 1 comment, because what I am to be is what I'm becoming. So, I just pray for anyone that is listening to this message right now is that you messed up yesterday, right? You messed up yesterday. That day where you was like, man, I said I was going to do X, Y, and Z, and I didn't do none of them things. I just chilled. I just kicked it. You got in debt. You picked the major that you didn't want to do. It is gone. You said something you didn't want to say. It is gone. Yesterday is gone. It is out of here. It's finito. Don't think about tomorrow because we don't know if it's ever going to come. But if you focus on what's going to happen today, what you can do in this very moment in time, what I am to be is what I'm becoming. Thank you so much for tuning in. If you're on the live, preach. If you are on the YouTube channel now watching this on a recap, preach. Thank y'all so much. Like I said, I'm going to be setting up a separate channel a separate page for all my little live, little speaks and all that good stuff. But in the meantime, thank you so much for tuning in. And if you're looking for a small group in terms of you want to be around men that where it comes to iron sharpens iron, where we have honest and open conversations, honest, open, and transparent conversations about God, Big God, hey, hit me up. It's a virtual one. So I appreciate y'all so much. And remember, this world is moving so fast. You're going to change. I mean, the world's going to change. You're going to change. But growth, it has to be intentional. That won't come. Plant those seeds today, baby. All right. Preach.